Hi, everyone. All right, let me switch over. Alrighty. Hi, everyone. Let's get the camera all squared away. There we go. Let's zoom in a bit. All right. Hopefully you can hear me and we don't have any issues like we did last time. Hope you guys are having a good week. I'm going to be using my Unfolding Path Tarot for our readings and the signs of our times, as I have been for the past few weeks. Been really digging this Oracle deck, so yeah. All right, let's get this all shuffled. We'll get the community read started. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Four. Hi, Luke. All right, let's see what the community read has for us. Our first card here is the traffic cone. This is the card of caution. I feel like this is a warning of just making sure we are being cautious about our surroundings and who we surround ourselves with and where we spend our energy. But let's dive a little deeper. Let's see what context this caution is dealing with or focused on. Next card. Oh, we have this card again. I think we had that last week. Emotions. This is the moon card. So in tarot, the moon is the card of intuition, but also connecting with our emotions and really being able to trust our intuition about how we are navigating the world emotionally. So I think that with these two paired together, I think the traffic cone is saying, hey, be cautious. Like I was saying before, actually, be cautious of where you are focusing your time and energy, especially when it comes to your emotions. So this last card here is our bullseye. This is focus. So I think that this is very much a reminder to be careful about spreading yourself too thin. Try to find something to focus on that is emotionally fulfilling, especially in the near term. I would say, at least the energy for the weekend in this regard. That's how I feel some nights, Sandy. Also, everything out here is under construction always. So I feel like there are traffic cones everywhere, reminding us to be a little cautious. All right, so right now we only have 4 in the queue. I feel like tonight's going to be a quiet night. I don't know why I feel that way, but let me get this deck all shuffled. So 4, go ahead and put the question in the chat. Whoop. Alright, let's shuffle going. Of course, 4. Let's see what message Spirit has for you. Message for 4. card. All right, so you have the Ace of Wands, the Knight of I'm sorry, the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and then the Three of Cups. I'm going to start with the middle. So you have, I'm going to just start. So you have these two cups cards here, imbue that energy of water, and then you have here the Knight in the center, which is very much fire, fiery energy. Knights imbue fire, wands imbue fire. So there's a lot of movement that's happening around you, but I feel like Spirit is warning you about taking any impulsive movements or making any impulsive decisions right now. So the Knight of Wands can sometimes be good when we are in our like grinding phase where we're like feeling very ambitious, that we have some goals that we want to achieve and we want that energy around us to push towards them. Even like in the upright, even though the Knight of Wands can be a little impulsive, maybe a little rash and lacking in decision making, it's still pushing forward. It's still ultimately focused on a specific goal, right? But the problem is, in reverse, the Knight becomes extremely impulsive. The impulses outweigh the benefits of the ambition. It basically borderlines on being reckless. So I don't feel like Spirit is saying you're necessarily being reckless. I feel like Spirit is warning you about falling into the trap of recklessness because you are entering this period of maybe feeling like there's a lot of energy moving around you, and it can make you feel really restless because of that. So on one side here, we have the Ace of Wands, or Ace of, I desperately want this to be the Ace of Wands, apparently. We have the Ace of Cups. This Knight here being surrounded by these two cups really insinuates, like, even though you have a lot of this movement around you, I think that you need to emotionally set yourself, is probably how I'll explain it, I guess. Make sure that you really like in tune yourself with your emotions and discern, why are you pushing towards something? Is it just because like it feels like you're being pushed towards it, or is it something that you actually want? One of the things, a few things are missing from this reading, right? It's only 3 cards, but you can kind of see it here. You have no earth energy, so there's nothing that's grounding you, and you also have no swords, so there's no like thoughtfulness that's going on here. A lot of things are driven either by the high energy that's around you or your emotions. So I think Spirit's saying, hey, at least set yourself emotionally, because maybe the energy is going to try to push you regardless. So the Ace of Cups, I feel like this is really leaning on more of the spirituality side of things, but overall, the Ace of Cups is really telling us like, hey, we have this new journey ahead of us that could be really emotionally fulfilling, but it's something that you have to go down in order to see. And it's about being able to feel like you are allowing room in your life for new feelings to come through. But in terms of like the spirituality side, I think it's about reconnecting, maybe restarting a journey with maybe your spirit team or whatever that spirituality looks like for you. And again, I didn't mention this, but in our community reading with the moon card, I did mention that the moon insinuates like a level of trust in your intuition. That's what I think is happening here with this ace. It feels very much like a start of a new emotional journey for you. And I think a lot of that is going to be surrounded around how you handle these really high energy situations. And on this side, we have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is about having your community, but I think in this case, it's specifically about your happiness in regards to your spiritual team. And that's why I feel like very much that your spirit message from spirit is saying, like, reconnect. Feel like you have someone that you can rely on, that's looking out for you, whatever that might be for you spiritually. I think that this entire reading is really about reconnecting with that side of yourself and reconnecting with that spirituality, and being able to use that as like a grounding point for you anytime you kind of feel like you're in this really high octane, high energy kind of situation. Hi, Luna. Hi. Hi, Midnight. You made it because Luke reminded you. Alrighty, Luna, go ahead and post your question. You're welcome for. Don't forget to like this video, guys. It helps other people find me. I will not check if he will contact you, but I'll see what's going on with your connection with you and Terry. So let's see what's going on with you and Terry. All right, last card here. So you have the Four of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Judgment card. All right. So I feel like overall, like, you know, hi from Montreal. Wow. Thank you for joining, Carell. Hopefully I said that right. So I don't think that there's necessarily like bad blood between y'all. Sorry, my Eldritch Horror, aka Luna, came running up the stairs. Hey, Luna. Would you like to join us? Alrighty, let's go uppies. Say hi, Luna, to everybody on the internet. Okay, so awesome, I got it right. Cool. So I think that there's a few things going on. I'm gonna zoom out and then we'll talk specifics. I think that between y'all, there's like this understanding happening that things just are meant to be friendly, but not romantic. And there's like gonna have to be that journey of figuring out how that's gonna work, right? So the Four of Wands is, the Four of Wands insinuates to me that there's still really good energy between you guys. There's this like friendship, there's overall community, there's room to celebrate each other. But the problem is with this Ten of Cups here, the reason I reversed is because you have fire energy here and then you have the water energy. They don't really play well together. They're really opposing forces. So you have this Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is really the emotional fulfillment card, and in reverse is saying to me that that's not really gonna happen. There's this element of like whatever that end goal emotionally that you were hoping for is really just shattered. It's like the walls are coming down. You're starting to realize that what you expected the end goal to be is not how it's actually going to be. But I think what this has more of a familial thing, like more relationship energy, whereas this feels much more friendship energy. And I think that this in the upright really insinuates that you guys are going to remain friends as long as you allow room for that. But there won't be room for anything more than that. And judgment really drives this kind of home. So judgment is the second card leading up to the end of the journey of the major arcana. This is before you reach that final goal or achievement, that end goal. And it really is like the awakening card where things start to become really clear. And there's like this element of reckoning in the sense like you start to really clearly see how things are laid out. And in regard to this question, you're starting to really understand, or between you guys, there's this understanding that things just, the original assumption of things working out, maybe like romantically or whatever, is just not how it's going to work out. But mirroring the Four of Wands, perhaps that's okay, because at the end of the day, it still seems pretty like there's room for friendliness and there's still room for overall just joy and happiness between y'all. But I will say I like to point out when there are certain elements missing, even though it's a 3-card reading, it's a little nuance there, but you have no swords, there's no communication happening. So maybe this is like a sign that it's just overall good vibes, but you guys don't necessarily talk regularly. Maybe you're just on the outskirts of each other's social circles, stuff like that. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, I don't see any bad blood between y'all, but I also don't see it growing to anything more worthwhile if that's what you're looking for. Yeah, Luna. Yes, the Queen Luna. She's a true star of the show. I literally just keep it running for her. She's such a ham. Alrighty, Luke, go ahead, post your question. And Luna Ray, if you have any other questions, let me know. Hopefully that helps. You're welcome. It's been ages, Midnight, since you've used the Unfolding Path. I will say it was ages for me as well, and I finally decided to pull it out because I was talking about this deck in one of our tarot times with Sil, and I was like, you know what? I like the pairing of these guys together, and I just really wanted to, I wanted to use it. Luke, I'm guessing A and B are two different people? Just want to clarify I understand this correctly. Hey, Apollo. Okay. Let's see what your connection with A is. I'll pull 2 cards for that. All right, second card. Let's see about B. All right. So I'm gonna describe it and kind of let you make that decision. I have my own opinions, but I'm gonna describe it and then let you kind of decide, right? So for A, I have two queens here, the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords. For B, I have the Eight of Swords and the moon, or Star card. Sorry, I'm obsessed with the moon apparently today. So over here for B, you have a lot of air energy. The Star card is imbues air along with the Swords card, and then over here you have this pairing of the fiery energy from the Wands and the air energy of the Swords. So here I feel like there's this balance between the two queens. While one queen here is very passionate and very much great at following and inspiring and maybe being inspired as well, the other queen here tends to be a little more thoughtful and logistical and really likes to be a little more cerebral overall. But obviously there's that balance between the two queens of really having that more emotional connection to their surroundings, and it feels very much like there's this like balanced energy when it comes to the connection with A. B, on the other hand, is more turbulent. There's maybe a little bit of maybe I'll call it like imposter syndrome that's happening, feeling like maybe you can't quite be yourself around B as much as you can with other people. This is very much more an internal thing that's happening. I'm not saying that B is forcing that or anything like that. It's just kind of how we interact with differently with different people, right? So I feel like with B, maybe it feels like you're either I don't want to say like undeserving. It's more like maybe you put them a little bit above yourself in a kind of way that makes you sort of recede into yourself, and it doesn't allow you to be the person who you really are. And paired with the Star really makes me feel like you are you're hoping that changes because of who B is, and you're hoping that you find a way to bridge that gap with them. You have faith in your connection with B, whereas I feel like A feels more like seamless, whereas just easier things just okay, I'm glad it's making sense. Good. So I'm sure you have your opinion of it. I'll let you kind of talk to it. I don't want to sway it, but based off of what I'm seeing with the cards, right, this feels very much like overthinking the time you spend with B versus A feeling like you could just lean into the relationship or connection that you have without it being burdensome in any kind of way, or feeling like you have to overthink things or even kind of change or mask who you are. Alrighty, Midnight. Go ahead, post your question in the chat. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad it makes sense and that it's making sense of what you're already feeling. Sure. Energy for next week. Let's pull an oracle card for you. Energy for next week for Midnight. Oh, we got our bullseye back. Okay, I think your theme here is focus. You're welcome, Luke, as always. We have a lot of Wands energy with the community. Ooh, lot of high. I think you're gonna have a high energy week, Midnight. So your theme here overall is focus. You have the 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands, and then the Strength card. What's funny is numerologically, I don't know. You have 8, 9, and 10. So there's this like consecutiveness that I feel like this natural flow that's going to happen throughout the week. So you have a lot of energy. I already said that, right? I think that it's going to be a bit of an exhausting week because of that, but I wouldn't say that it's necessarily bad. So I'll just kind of go in order. The 9 of Wands really asks us to be resilient during a lot of like turbulent or high energy moments. So I think this week is really gonna ask you to lean into that resiliency that you've had and just kind of let things happen how they're gonna happen. Try to let things roll off your back, so to speak. 9 of Wands is your new stalker. Hey, it's better than is it better than the 4 of Wands, actually? Or 4 of Swords? I don't know. But then you have the 10 of Wands. The cool thing about the 10s is it's like the completion of a cycle. So even though things are going to be really high energy, a lot of things that are going to be moving around you, maybe a little bit of chaos perhaps this next week, which is why I think your theme is really focus. Try to find that one thing to focus on in the chaos that's happening. You will get through it successfully, but the caveat I like to say with the 10 of Wands is, or with 10s, but with 10 of Wands specifically, is that it will be exhausting. It's a little burdensome, the 10 of Wands, right? So you can see her like she kind of has a little bit of a grimace and she's trying to drag this bag, but you see she's almost at the finish line. She's almost at the top of the steps and can go through the doorway. She just has to finish pulling this load for a little bit longer, and I feel like that's what this week is really going to be about, is carrying that burden for just a little bit longer, and then you can finally release it. The whole thing is that we're ending with the Strength card. There's this beauty in the Strength card that I really like, where, you know, when I was learning tarot, the thing about strength is not like your physical strength, but it's your inner strength and how you can really like tap into that and allow it to carry you through situations. One of the themes of the strength card mirrors this, because it's about focusing, being able to feel like you have the inner fortitude to even focus in times of like strife is a little heavy of a term, in times of just, I'll call it high energy, right? And being able to fight through all of that. It feels very much like these are like external things that are happening, but the strength card is a reminder of, even though it imbues that fiery energy. Hold on. Sorry, Apollo's like downstairs singing the song of his people. So even though wands is very much like things that are happening externally, this is the reminder that even though you have a lot of like fiery energy might be external, there's also that fire within that you can use to tap into yourself as you are dealing with these high energy moments. Oh, okay. So your mom's visit is the bag you're dragging up the stairs. Come here. Yeah, Apollo is definitely something else. Yeah, I think though. So I feel like this is fairly neutral energy. It's, I guess for me it's neutral. It depends for you how, like, which way it leans, but looks like a lot going on this week. It was a quiet night today. They actually do have an Instagram, Luke. I very rarely post on it anymore. Very rarely post on my Cosmic Lunar Soul Instagram. Yes, Apollo. Ooh, let me show you guys like a quick picture of the space cadets in their like stupid little faces. Look at them. So this is Apollo and that's Luna. And they're like, look at his little ham hocks over here. I believe in you, Midnight. Well, I think, it's so quiet, so I think I'm going to get off of here early tonight. For those of you watching the replay, you can go ahead and use !join to, disc. What am I talking about? You guys can join my Discord to enjoy some like discussions. We're starting our April book club read, and you can vote on which book you would like to read for the month. And yeah. Oh yeah, Luna is gonna be so happy. Alrighty, guys, I am going to get off of here. You can see me on Discord. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the flip side. All right.